Hey everyone, welcome back to the Daily Blend Show. This is the rundown, the new rebrand of the weekly rundown, where I feature what's going on across Daily Blend, special projects I'm involved with, and news from around the globe. Before I jump in the show, I want to remind you we are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and wherever else you get your podcasts. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe to the show at Daily Blend. And you can check me out on LinkedIn, Instagram, and X at Read Daily. With all that said, let's jump into the show. So I've had the best sort of sports/entertainment month in a long time. So we kicked off the MLS season and I am fired up. It's the 30th anniversary of the MLS. We talked about that on the last show. And I keep on getting more and more excited about MLS being on Apple TV and what the fantastic product looks like. If you are interested, there is a $14 sort of paid subscription by month, or you can buy the full season by $99. And then somehow, because I'm an Apple Plus consumer or subscriber already, I saw one time the ability to buy the season for $79, and I hit pay. And because I was logged into my wife's account, she wasn't around, she didn't see the request and it timed out. And I've never seen the $79 version. I'm pretty sure it's available somewhere. And I've heard mixed things about some of the MLS owners saying that there's too many games behind the paywall, or all of them except Sundays, and that they want to get on more linear television. And I just think that's sort of short-sighted. I mean, linear television is dying, maybe outside of ESPN, but the fact that ESPN Plus is doing so well, I love it on Apple TV. I watch all the Sunday night games. I get all the highlights on YouTube. It's been fantastic. On top of that, the gear has been really great this year. The Chicago Fire home team, you need to step it up. Your gear is just okay, and Matt Wolf did a fantastic job with that logo. Let's style it up. Let's get a street team that knows the sort of Chicago landscape. Look at what Larry and his team are doing down in Atlanta, and let's improve this a bit. And then, as someone who spent about a fourth of their life living in Queens, playing at St. John's, I'm really pumped that NYCFC has announced their stadium for 2027, and I've already put my name in for tickets for that game, and I am buying some swag from NYCFC. I already got a couple shirts, trying to look for some hats and some other stuff. So I'm all in on what's going on with the MLS. Now, I want to talk about a second league, which is the USL. And I still need to double click into the role that the USL wants to play with their sort of USL 1 league and the Premier, how they're going to have relegation and how that's going to fit into the MLS. But, and I highlighted this on the last show, a family friend of mine purchased the Energy, which is in Oklahoma City where my folks live. And then they went out and hired Matthew Wolf to create their new crest. So they're doing a naming convention, and then they're doing a crest with Matt. And so I read the press release on the OKC website, and it's interesting, gives you just a little background. But if you double click on one of the hyperlinks and go to Matthew Wolf's website, which I'll put in the show notes, you get to go see all the logos that this guy has created. And it's insane. You've got NYCFC, you've got Jordan Brand times Paris Saint-Germain, you've got the Chicago Fire, the Clippers, the Twins, the Los Angeles Football Club, which is one of the best, I think, Vermont Green, Nike Sportswear, the New York NJNY Gotham. The list goes on and on and on. And I just think it's really cool what he's done and the logos that he's created. And I'm thrilled that, Christian and his team decided to bring Matt on, and I can't wait for the new name, the new logo, the new scarves, jerseys, all of that. And I know we'll probably get drips of a logo first, and maybe we won't get a rebrand until they have the new stadium. Who knows? But I'm buying gear for, this OKC team as soon as I see the sort of rebrand, and just continuing to get excited about what's happening in soccer. Now, I said this has been an incredible sports couple weeks. I want to jump from soccer to talk about basketball. So I went to St. John's. I played soccer there, and I am so thrilled that St. John's plays Marquette, because It's only about 45 minutes to an hour from my house to go see Marquette. And so I brought my daughter. We got to the game slightly late, but they were leading for most of the game against Marquette. Then they went down. Then they tied it up to go to overtime. And then they won at a buzzer beater in overtime. And so they beat Marquette. They were regular season Big East champs. Then they went to the Big East tournament and won that. And now we're heading into Thursday night NCAA round one, and we got a decent matchup. I could not be more excited. The game's late on Thursday, so I've got some stuff going on during the day in the city, and then I will be tuned in with tequila in hand, ready to watch that game. So good luck, Johnny's. I'm fired up for the team. I'd say the only thing that I'm frustrated with is it was clearly we were not expecting to be that good, or whoever did the ordering on the swag and the gear just really missed the ball, and you can't find any gear from St. John's on the internet, which is unfortunate. In terms of what's going on, I'll jump back to soccer just a little bit. The other thing I wanted to mention was the fact that the English Premier League is coming here this summer. And so they're going to do a summer series, and they're going to be in New York, New Jersey at the MetLife Arena, and then they're going to be here in Chicago and a couple other places. You also have the first ever Club World Cup. So instead of it being national teams, it's going to be Club World Cup. It's happening in America, but it's getting very little press. So I'm kind of interested in that. All right, so let's switch from sports to entertainment. And let's just talk about one of the craziest experiences I've had in a long, long time. Took our daughter down to Disney World and got to do the princess lunch and do the fast pass through the Magic Kingdom. And that was really cool. I got to do the Tron ride, which was fantastic. Just wish it was a little longer. But what I really want to talk about was Universal and the Harry Potter world. And so we sort of did it wrong. We walked there, we saw the train, entrance to the train, and we bought the tickets to go on the train, which takes you across the park. Two rides that are just a little mature for a 7-year-old, but we got a wand and we got one of these little owl things. It was amazing. And then we had to walk all the way back through the Universal parks, all the way back to Diagon's Alley, and I think I'm saying that wrong. And that was amazing. You see this little entrance, and then you go into this world of Harry Potter, and it feels like you are on set, to the fact that people are did they film here? And it's amazing. So if you do have the chance to go to Universal, I do think overall the park needs to be, or is geared towards older kids, but it was fantastic to attend. Switching from talking about sports and media, let's go to talking about what's going on over at Daily Blend and some of the special projects I'm involved with. I've been consistently putting out more music. One of the things that I said I wanted to do was get back into that. So a couple things that I'm having fun with. I've got thanks to some folks that I know in the DJ world and the software world, I've been able to do a little more on the mixes between Ableton Live, DJ Studio, and then Pioneer DJ or Alpha Theta through their Record Box solution. One of the other things that I'm really excited about, and it's coming today, is this little $200 controller from Algorithm DJ, which I've never used. Sorry, I shouldn't say I've never used. I've only used the light version of the solution, but it's an app that Laidback Luke has made extremely famous. He's got a custom rig of hardware that kind of reminds me of the X1 and Z1 controller combined from Native Instruments. So he's got this little thin rig with a professional sound card that he brings to clubs and festivals and then DJs off his phone. And I was like, okay, I've got this expensive Pioneer XDJ RX3 that's a full kit. Other than the jog wheels, he can do everything that I can do with his little setup and more, because of the harmonic mixing. And harmonic mixing means you can cut out the vocals, the mids, the drums, etc. And so when NAMM, which is the North America Music Merchant event, happened in January, I saw this release of this little controller that is powered by batteries. It's Bluetooth. You can kind of find a way to hook back through your phone and then into speakers, but it's this little rig, and it does everything you want it to do, and it works with an iPhone and an iPad. So I bought it. It's coming today. I'm looking forward to it. What I'm going to try to do is go the little controller with my phone kind of, working as the interface and the sound card, then out of my phone into some sort of recording device or streaming device and seeing if I can record my sets. Because like, I'll be honest, I just hate standing for like an hour and a half in my house. And the IKEA table that I have is too small. Like, it's that, standard sort of DJ table that I need to get the risers for from IKEA. And just having it at my desk or outside, like sitting outside at the table would be just a little more enjoyable for me. So be on the lookout for some pictures, images of that over on Daily Blend Podcast, as well as Read Daily Music, which is the dedicated handle that I decided to create for all my music. It just made it easier for me. In terms of what else is going on, so we've been talking about Sheridan, the golf project, for a number of months, but really haven't focused on it until recently. I was trying to deal with a couple things around the house and in life and work and et cetera, et cetera. And I'm really excited. So working on the brand overview guides, working on a couple more samples. Wasn't happy with the first round of polo samples, but going to be doing a little more sharing of that, both on Instagram and over on my personal YouTube channel at Read Daily. So check that out. I'll make sure I link that. And then we are going to be having the next Off podcast interview with Luke, who's a creative I've gotten to know over the internet. He's a sneakerhead that has his own agency. So you will be seeing that release on Friday this week. Sorry, not Friday this week, next Wednesday. So be on the lookout for that next Wednesday. So the sort of cadence we're going to be going with is the rundown after this week will be on Mondays. You'll have sort of sound off shows on Wednesdays or Thursdays, trying to figure out what works best there. Then we'll have sort of the Friday top five. So that takes us to the end of the show. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. And with that said, catch you on the next episode.